Hi guys, so this video is going to be about drawing the female anatomy. These are a couple of examples that I have done in the past. These ones are kind of for character design, which I think is really good for drawing anatomy because it's kind of fun to do and you get to study at the same time. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm drawing out like a basic sketch for the female anatomy. As you can see, I'm kind of splitting up the body into three parts, so the upper part, the midsection and the lower part. Then I'm going to draw in the legs. And when it comes to the female anatomy, it's a bit more about simplicity than doing anything complicated, because that's more like for the male anatomy. Then I kind of draw lines here just so that you can see that the female anatomy is really just made out of sections that you can kind of draw with simple shapes. Now I'm going to draw it again, but I'm kind of just going to go through a bit more of the thought process. So of course with the head, you obviously been taught that kind of putting a cross in the head kind of helps you with eye lines and all of that. Then it comes to the midsection. Obviously there's this oval looking shape that kind of indicates where the ribs are going to be, but I think sometimes what's most difficult is drawing the chest. So while I was studying female anatomy, something kind of clicked for me when it came to drawing the chest. So it was kind of this kind of shape, and the way I can kind of describe it is kind of like anime eyes. Like, I'm sure you can kind of see it now, but it's kind of like you can kind of connect these kind of anime looking eyes to the shoulder, which is really helpful, and connect them together as well. So I mean, of course there are a lot of techniques that you can probably look online where it will talk about drawing them like beanbags, but this technique kind of works for me now, so hopefully it can work for you as well. Then for the midsection, there's also another kind of technique I use, and you can see it here, where the midsection, there's like two parts of it, the inner part and the outer part. So the inner part is kind of two circles overlapping, and then you kind of draw the outer line of the body. And I think this kind of adds to the simplicity to the kind of female form and can really help you out. So here you can see me kind of drawing it out as well with the ink. And obviously I don't draw every detail of those overlapping circles, but you can kind of see where I'm getting at when I do it. Like I discussed earlier, female anatomy, you can just use shapes. So this first technique, I'm using 3 shapes for like the midsection, which I think is the most important part. And I split the second shape into 2, draw the chest on the top half, and you can see kind of how easy it is to kind of plan out the female form when you're sketching with a pen. And then the second part, I draw the head, then I draw the midsection as one shape, and then the lower section as a second shape. So I think these are 2 techniques can kind of help you out by kind of showing you the simplicity of like the female anatomy, and then obviously I kind of add in more details afterwards. And next I'm going to start using a pencil, which I think kind of adds a whole new level to the female anatomy drawings. With ink, it kind of helps you to show where things are supposed to be at. Obviously, when you draw with ink, you're less likely to want to make mistakes, so you're going to be a bit more focused. But now you can, when you switch to pencil, you can kind of just really experiment with where you want certain body parts to be and how you want it to look like with these kind of sketching lines. So right now I'm just drawing the female anatomy using the kind of techniques I used before, kind of just having fun with it, going over the sketches like a few times before I kind of solidified it with a darker line. And in this sketch here, I'm using a pencil, but I'm also kind of using that kind of pen technique where I don't do rough sketches, I just go straight into it, which is also a good technique to use. And yeah, I think that these two techniques, using both pen and pencil, can really just help you cover all your bases when it comes to drawing the female anatomy. Obviously, this is where it would be a good idea to just get a reference photo of like a female anatomy kind of page with all the muscles showing, just so that you can kind of sketch those kind of more specific details in. But when it comes to the outline form of it, this is probably where you want to be at, not needing to rely on that reference, just using your imagination basically. And yeah, that's just some of my advice for this video. Thanks for watching, and I hope that the advice kind of helps you when it comes to drawing female anatomy.